Let's go.
Hey man, y'all sure y'all don't want to like burn one first, man?
Forever, ever.
We coming for you. I am a god. What's wrong with you, man? I will find him!
The Force will be with you, always.
Let's go.
Forever, forever, ever.
Come on, man.
What it do? What it do, everybody? We are in the building. Technicals and all, damn it. We have
Wallace's the
arrived.
balances, yes. So let's hit him with the sauce, man.
Cause if you ain't got the sauce, then mother, that's your loss. You
Son.
know what it is. It's your boy Freddie Roy all over the place this Sunday afternoon with your boy Lavis B, and together we are the main authority, your one-stop shop for whatever in the hell we feel like talking about from week to week. And as you can see, we are not
Yes.
alone. We are
No, we are
certainly
not.
not alone. We are joined by the one and only LBZ, the lonely Banter. What's going on, man? How is it going today?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Like, I'm happy to be here. I brought the barbecue sauce, but I don't know how y'all feel about product placement, so I'm gonna keep it away. I got the drink in the cup. I'm ready.
That's what's up. Hey, you know how we do around
Right.
these parts, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a week, man.
Yes, I was
It's
just
been a
about to
week,
say
y'all.
that.
It's been a week. We had the Obi-Wan. We definitely gonna get into that Obi-Wan, man. But work-wise, it was a week. And then at the end of the week, man, my oldest walked the stage, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. Graduate. High school done. On to the real deal now, man.
Right.
It's crazy stuff, man. Congratulations to you, Samaya. Love you, baby. It was so fun, man. All the emotions, all the feelings. But I gotta touch on something. You know, I usually have a bone to pick somewhere when this stuff goes down, man. And so I'm just gonna go on and say it, man. I ain't ready for these youngsters, bro.
Oh, no.
I ain't ready for these
I
youngsters.
already
y'all.
know.
If this is what I'm supposed to be like leaning on when I retire, I got some questions, bro. Hey, but look, shout out to class of 2022. Hey, they did something that none of us old heads can say that we did, and that's survive a global pandemic. So I will give them that. Because I don't know how I would have been able to navigate COVID and 6 feet of separation and masks and going to school. Because you know, you got that one kid in school, got that hot ass breath. Ain't no mask gonna help. And then it's like building up, and I got to sit across from him at the lunch table, bruh. Nah,
bro.
no,
Nah,
man.
bro. Nah,
It-
keep that on. I don't
Mm-mm.
even care if I don't understand what they saying. Keep that
No,
mask
keep
on.
it
'cause
on,
you
please.
know, you pulling it down, it's like shooting the breath Hadouken. You can't have that. Can't
I'm
have
saying,
that at all.
LB, I know you know what we talking about, man. I know you
Oh,
know
yeah.
them dragon breaths.
Man, I had one in the circle, bruh. True story here, bruh. Like, I had to go to Mama Lonely and had a discussion with her. Like, man, this man's breath is kicking too bad. It's like, how can I approach this man without him getting offended? And,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
long story short, couldn't do it.
Nah, sometimes
Right.
you just got to break the seal, bro. You got to be like, hey, look, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you, man. That's
You gotta
kind
trick
of
him
a
into it.
That's kind of a subject that's tough to broach, but you got to find a way to do it for the good of the people, man. And speaking of, that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be ripping the seal off. We got to broach some subjects, man. It might get a little uncomfy in here, but we need y'all to understand that just as much as we talk about this nerdy-ish, we gotta tie it to real life sometimes. Sometimes that's a positive thing. Sometimes it might be a little bit negative. So that's just my way of giving y'all a disclaimer right now. It might get real.
It might.
It just might. It might get a little bit real, but we'll start on a light note.
Right.
Did you check out episode 3, man?
Oh, you know it. You already know.
I gotta get your thoughts. I gotta get your thoughts, and then we gotta holler at LB. I gotta see what LB thinks overall, man.
Right. Well, initially, I feel like I got what was necessary from this episode. Again, little baby Leia being annoying, getting them on transports that they don't need to be on, and then Obi-Wan so broken, losing the faith that he couldn't even have the patience to wait, and things could have just went smoothly. But we don't want things to really go smoothly now, do we? Not with this story.
Nah.
Especially when it comes to the homie Vader getting put back together, coming out there, and I'm going to go ahead and skip to the part where my man's handling Obi-Wan with one hand. One hand.
Right.
Like, you ain't this, and you never will be. With the one hand. And then threw my man up on the grill. We had shish kawan is what I was calling it. Shish kawan. I was enjoying it, man. It was,
you would
just hey. At least I didn't call it Swisher Kawan.
Hey,
save that one for Kavai.
There you go, man. There you go. What's poppin', Kavai?
But it is, homie. But yeah, it's just I enjoyed it. I like only thing I didn't like, and I mean maybe it's not a plot armor thing. Maybe it's just the fact that they're trying to say Reva is just this what do you call it? What word am I searching for? That intuitive. But like she always knows where to go. Always going straight to it.
Do be facts.
Straight to it. It's like, oh well, they was up in this building. Okay, we go. Oh, there's a switch behind here that was hidden that no one else found but me. Oh, there's whole room back here that's let me go ahead and skip to the end and I know exactly what. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, it's been a while since we've had some kind of plot armor to this effect. And maybe that's why they're like, you know what? No one's done this in a while. We can maybe. No, you cannot get away with it. Not with me. Not with me.
He said, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it.
Yes. Yes, this is the 3rd episode. This happened consistently. I am tired of it. Make a mistake now. It's okay. It is all right. We expect it. 3 out of 3. You good. You ain't Steph Curry. Come on.
Hey, man.
Or maybe she is.
Maybe. Hey,
Reva Curry.
We gonna see, because he feeling the pressure. They got a game to win tonight, man. We don't necessarily talk about sport ball over here, but game two tonight. Hey, mama good with that 20 piece. Thank you so much, mama.
Thank you, mama.
We love you as always.
Always.
LB, man, you've been watching this Obi-Wan, man. Let me know what you think, man. How you been feeling about the show overall, and what was your thought on episode number 3?
All right. Well, first of all, Mr. Lovers, I just want to let you know, if everything went perfectly smooth, it wouldn't be a good TV show. It would be boring. They wouldn't even make a TV show. So we got to have some things that'll be like, come on, bruh.
Right.
So,
exactly. Agreed.
And then to your other point about the the shish kawan. I didn't know Vader celebrated Memorial Day because it looked like he was trying to have his own memorial and then have a little cookout later on. So shout out to Vader.
Right.
But
somebody should be like that. Obi-Wan ain't done, man.
Right.
But overall, I'm enjoying the show. It felt like it took me right back to the end of the Clone Wars, because I was a big fan of the Clone Wars series. It's like we're right back into that era. Ewan McGregor's doing a good job. But I felt like this 3rd episode, man, bruh. I gotta adjust the bruhs. I gotta turn them into Mayne. So Mayne,
Mayne, bro.
we rock
with both, man.
Yeah.
Man, Vader was playing no kind of games in this episode. I appreciate, like, you could say what you want about Disney and how they handling Star Wars, but they've handled Vader perfect. Vader's out here dragging kids, snapping necks, dragging women, everything, bruh. And he wants Vader up out of here. Not Vader. He wants Obi-Wan out of here.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
done. And then the crazy thing is, like, I feel like he's playing with Obi-Wan, but he still want him out of here, just not quickly. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. I don't have many complaints. Probably my biggest complaint about the series so far is the music. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I feel like the music is kind of. Did y'all see Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers?
Yes, I did actually.
Okay.
I
So you know
did.
how
Go
the
ahead.
bootleg movies. I feel like this is some bootleg music right now. So
Yeah.
you know,
I think I kind of know where you're going with that, man. Because, and I think the thing is, when we talk about the music, like we know John Williams scored the theme and whatnot, but this don't feel like a John Williams score, like a soundtrack to me. Like Star Wars, it's like they trying to do the epic thing, but maybe they didn't put that kind of a budget into the orchestra or something. But it's like it don't hit like OG trilogy Star Wars hit, and that's where you feel like this is going towards or building towards. So you would think it would be more in line with that. It doesn't necessarily take me out of the show at all. But the music definitely, especially when you look at Mando and Boba Fett, like that music slap. Like them soundtracks are going to be like, you gonna know them joints for years to come. And like Obi-Wan don't have anything like that. There's nothing in Obi-Wan that I'm listening to and I'm gonna know every time I hear that going forward, what I like, that's gonna come on and I'm like, oh yeah. Nah, not like that.
Not in a good way.
It's like they spent all the money on Ewan, right? And then it was like, man, we can't afford John Williams for more than the theme. So like they went on Google and Googled some Star Wars royalty free music and started to use them.
There you
That's
go.
what it sounds like.
Facts. It definitely is leaving a little bit to be desired, no doubt. But I must say, man, LB is hitting the nail on the head when it comes to Vader, because you can't have any argument or issue with Vader unless your issue is that we haven't gotten enough. Because I mean, everything like from the James Earl Jones voiceover to the actual way that he's utilizing the lightsaber and it being more in tune with Vader from A New Hope, as opposed to like the way Anakin was whipping that thing, pause, in Revenge of the Sith, it's a whole different vibe. Like it's flowing really nicely into A New Hope. But the thing that gets me more than anything else is like Disney is letting Vader go for it. Like that scene where he drug old dude out the window and then his son came out and Vader was just like, none of that crack. And I'm like, hold on, bro. Like Vader killing children for real now. We ain't even, it ain't off screen no more. Like they like, nah, we finna turn up. And that's crazy to me, like for it to be coming from Disney, because we all said the same thing when the mouse got Marvel. When the mouse got Lucasfilm, it's like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be a bunch of princesses and fairy dust and everything else. But like they haven't shied away from getting a little extra with it. I mean, the stormtrooper falling over the laser and getting chopped in half. I'm like, bruh, they not playing. I'm seeing them try to step up the violence a little bit, and just enough to where it's in line with the characters that have already been established. They're not turning it up to a point where it's like, okay, this is getting like ridiculous, or it's not like they're trying to chase like The Boys or nothing like that. They're giving you the flavor of the characters that you expect. So I'm right there with LB on that one, man. Definitely right there with him on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're getting every bit of Vader that we've been wanting. This is what I was waiting for. I wanted to see how Vader took being taken out by Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? You know that there was intense feelings there, and I'm glad that we're actually getting there to see it. You know, this is now I can probably say I will continue in my Star Warsdom. Like I will now want to know more past this point, because this is like unanswered for me since, like you said, since A New Hope. It's like what was that transpired, and what they showed you in episode 3 to me, still it was just the beginning of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was like, okay, so they got him. He's all chopped up. They put him back together. Now what?
Right.
Now what? And now this is that now what for me. So I'm good. But for me, I got a question.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it back again. I'm paying close attention to Reva. And I noted that emotion that they let her have when she did find that room, and it's kind of making me curious if perhaps she is after Obi-Wan so heavily because actually she wants to get close to Vader, but not for the reasons that we think, as far as being on the right hand side of Vader and on the Sith power and all that stuff. I'm wondering if she's wanting to take a crack at my man. And perhaps if she was a survivor from Order 66 when she was younger, and this is like her way. It's still the Sith's way, of course, because maybe she's wanting to kill him. But she doesn't want to get next to him with good intentions on the Sith side. What do you guys think about that? What do you think, Al?
Yeah, I'm gonna toss it to LB. I want to hear LB's thoughts on this.
Yeah. What do you think?
I wanted to hear yours first.
Figured he did. I can see it on his face.
Oh man. Well, then, you know what? I'll go on. I'll go on and oblige. So for me, I think there's something to that, but I don't think, I saw some stuff where people were like, well, maybe she's a double agent, or maybe she's working for the rebel. Nah, scratch all that. It's not like that at all. Like the way that she's coming across, she's got a bone to pick with somebody. Like she is definitely dark side, and she is definitely on the hunt for somebody, whether that's Vader, whether that's Obi-Wan or Vader. I don't know yet. I haven't been able to really decide which way I want to go, but I'll say this. The thing that's so crazy about like the whole Reva situation is that, to your point, you get to see these like flashes where kind of her true intention is cracking through. Like, just like you mentioned, her going in and when she found the like secret passage, kind of her having that little moment where it kind of took her back almost, if you think she had something to do with the Jedi early on. But there was another one where old dude told her he would get they were both gonna get what they deserve, and she was like, I sure hope so. That wasn't no real like dark side I sure hope so either.
Right.
So like, to me, I'm wondering, like, is her beef with Obi-Wan in the sense that like she feels like Obi-Wan betrayed them because they didn't handle Vader, and that's why she wants to, and maybe like to your point, she wants to get rid of both of them because she feels like she's the rightful person that should be at the hand of the Emperor.
Right.
Like, it's maybe her aspirations are on that level, because it's definitely going to be something. And this is something that I'm starting to notice with like a lot of the Disney Star Wars stuff. It's like it seems like they're planting these seeds with certain characters where it's like, we're trying to set up the retcon so that we can cross that. When we get ready to cross that bridge, it makes sense. Like, we can say that we already were laying breadcrumbs way back in these shows, so that when they finally get to start tying some things together and explaining how and why certain situations played out the way that they did, they can go, look, we were already doing this way back when. And so I see a lot of that with this Reva situation, where not only do I think it's going to explain at some point like her whole situation with Vader and Obi-Wan, but also there's going to be implications even beyond that to some degree, because it just seems like they're putting so much emphasis on this. They're already talking about, like, I'm hearing whispers about another season. So it's like, okay, clearly they want to try to, they have some potential. They see some potential in stretching this thing out. But LB, am I tripping, man? What are you seeing, man?
I ain't tripping. You actually made me think about something, because like the double agent thing never crossed my mind. But now that you're talking about it, there could be some sense to it. Because like you said, when she mentioned I sure hope so, like she didn't really seem angry and have a rage to her when she mentioned that. But my thoughts, and I've been sticking to this kind of, is that she's actually Mace Windu's son, and she saw Mace Windu get killed, and she's blaming Obi-Wan for not saving the Jedi and is running away. So that's my theory.
Now that's one I hadn't even thought about, and that would be a hell of a way. That would be a hell of a way to tie her in to both the prequels and into where we going in the future, is for her to be like the offspring of Mace Windu. Boy, you want to talk about crazy.
Exactly. And you know how they
What?
do us black folk. We all somehow connected somehow. in
Exactly.
these movies.
Yeah,
Right.
that part.
They're like,
That
hey,
part.
well, everyone kept thinking Finn was Lando's kid or something. Well,
Mhm.
it turns out
Right.
he wasn't. So they'll figure something out.
Right.
Oh yeah, at some point. I'm sure of it, man. Sure
That's
of it.
hilarious.
Oh man,
I
but
love
damn,
it.
I didn't even think about that whole angle with. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the damn shows now because I'm gonna have to look for some more clues. That because that makes a lot of sense though, because especially if he's the one that's got to deal with her in the end. And what I mean by that is everybody's been talking about a Mace Windu return. And
Right.
and how could you have Mace Windu come back? And everybody was saying, well, excuse me, have him pop up in Mandalorian. I always thought that was too late. Like by that point, Mace is like older than Obi-Wan. So it's like what is he gonna do with that? Like he's an old one-armed ex-Jedi that's like out there powerful in the Force, but like I don't want to see that old Mace. But what I would like to see is a Mace 10 years after Order 66, where he's around that Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon like age, so to speak, and he has a more direct impact on what happens going forward. Because that could be the whole thing. Like he's like, oh no, like I got to deal with this Rebel situation because I didn't deal with the Anakin situation, and that whole thing could play a part of each other. Because that would be a microcosm of the whole situation with the Jedi's failure to even deal with Anakin in the first place. And so now you see this whole thing bubbling up. I like that theory, man. You might be on to something, LB. I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I'm liking that, man. That sounded like something. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that sounds like something that Disney Lucasfilm would do.
Yeah.
It sounds like something they would do, especially if he. And I wouldn't like it if they did this, but especially if they redeemed her some kind of way, because then that just says she went off on her own and did whatever. That sets up offspring for the future. So now you'd like to your point. Look, there's a relation for you. Now we can bring in a whole new cast of people and tie them back to Revan and Mace Windu. So yeah, I don't know, man. There might be something to that, man.
And if they did happen, they would do a flashback scene from episode 3 that we didn't see, where Mace Windu and Obi-Wan were arguing over something.
Yes.
And then she's standing in the corner watching as a little child. You know how they do.
Right.
Always.
It'd be believable.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
would.
could totally believe it. Yeah, I can see
I would
it.
be definitely into it too, because that's the thing about Star Wars, right? It's not about like I'm not watching Star Wars for Academy Awards. I'm not watching Star Wars because I want my expectations to be subverted, Ryan Johnson. I'm watching Star Wars because I want to see a space opera with laser swords and dudes in spaceships blowing shit up. That's what I watch Star Wars for. I want to watch some fantastical. I would never be a part of anything like this because it would never exist in my lifetime type ish.
Right.
That's what I want. I want an escape from reality. I don't want a reminder of the BS we deal with on a day-to-day basis. So keep the drama away from my Star Wars, man. Keep all that seriousness away from my Star Wars because we don't need it. But you know what happens, man? You know what happens
anyway. Yes.
That part.
Yes.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. LB, it happens too much, man. And it's
Way too much.
and it's happening with Reva, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's happening with Reva.
It
It's
is.
like all of a sudden, Star Wars decides to cast a black Inquisitor, and the no lives in the basement got to crawl into the DMs on some BS. And it's not even, I come to expect that part. That ain't even what makes me mad. What makes me mad is the reactions to it.
Yeah.
The way the situation becomes a backdrop for what people are really here for, which is to argue over some bull. I caught that one, Mama Good. I won't. I let one slip. I ain't gonna let another one slip. I promise. But
hey, widow.
LB, man, tell me something. I know you've seen this stuff on Twitter with Reva, man. I need to know right off top, man. What is your thought on one, the actual DMs or whatever was going on with that situation in terms of her even having to deal with that? and then kind of the way that situation has been co-opted in social media. Like, what is your take, man? How are you feeling about that?
Well, we all know, and it's a shame that we have to say this. It was expected. We knew this was going to happen.
Facts.
Right. It doesn't matter what she was doing. If Reva was going to be a background character, cool. But when it was known that she was going to have a main role in this show, we already knew it was going to happen. And it's a shame that we're not at a point in society where someone says, I'm getting this kind of message, I'm getting these kind of posts, and people find some way to say, oh, it's only a couple of messages, it's not that bad. It's like, huh, what? Just because, and a lot of people saying it's not happening, it's fake, it's bots and all kind of stuff. It's like, bruh, just because you're not seeing it, it doesn't automatically mean it's not happening. And so, you know, we all know Star Wars came out, put the tweet out, and you'll think we'll have universal agreement on this. Racism is not a place. We're not accepting racism, but for some reason we have a large portion of weirdos that has a problem with Star Wars saying don't be racist. Like, what are we doing here in society where a simple message of don't be racist is controversial?
My thoughts exactly. Lavish Mayne, let me know how you feeling, man. When you see this, and the reason I'm asking both of y'all is because I want to see how much in alignment we are, because I know we generally are some like-minded cats in the sense that we kind of approach life in the same way. We take in all of the facts, we observe, and then we deduce. We don't jump to conclusions. We try not to let our emotions guide us. This is what logical-minded folk do. So when I say we kind of in the same, that's what I mean. We are logical-minded people. So I want to know if my logic lines up with y'all's. And so far, LB ain't said nothing where I was like, nah, man, I don't know about that. And I'm pretty sure you not either, man. But before I go and say my piece, because you know Star Wars is my baby.
Yeah, it is.
Lavish, go ahead, man. How do you feel, bro?
Well, I mean, obviously, I agree with what LB was saying, and I don't know. It's just it's silly, and it kind of brings to light what I was saying, either last show or the last two shows, or the past two shows, like I've been saying. It's inscribed in our society for certain people to just look at it that way, and it's so much so that, like LB said, we expected it. It's so much so that even the company itself was like, hey, we're gonna have to issue this warning to you because we know we have these type of people in our community, and we just want you to be prepared for it. So as soon as you get seen on that screen, you might want to lock them DMs down.
Right.
But, you know, for whatever reason, she didn't. But at the same time, it like I was saying, you know, we have actual real world light and dark. And I guess we can kind of see that when it comes to the darkness on the Sith side of the real world, how dark it actually gets. And it's silly. It's really silly. I don't see the point in trying to even be that way. I mean, and it's down to the point where you can't even have aliens. You can't even have aliens who turn out to be black in real life. Because look at what they did with Jar Jar Binks. Look at the dude who played Jar Jar Binks.
Bruh. Speak on it.
Like, his life was destroyed.
Speak on it.
After the internet backlash of finding out that Jar Jar Binks was animatronically put over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't actually star as. He was the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. And still can't even do that. It's just crazy that it's you know, in Star Wars. I haven't heard anything like this, and I think, like, Marvel tried to protect itself so much that they went and got an all-black cast and all-black everything just to do Black Panther. So, like, nobody could say nothing. But it's like that, to me, that's like an overkill. I really don't feel anybody would have had any kind of dispute if there was a white person on stage or a white person in any kind of way involved with the creation of Black Panther. Like, and I'll say this publicly, like I was saying to you, I was just sitting and thinking a few days ago, you know, it's kind of it boggles my mind that somehow cognitively I have a problem with saying that there are white Africans, as if white people don't live over in Africa. And here it is that we have this issue where we have this form of racism where people are being told to go back to a place they've never been, or people aspire to go to a place where actually they would not be accepted because they are an American.
Facts.
Whether you like it or not,
Facts.
you are an American.
Facts.
And we're all Americans hating on other Americans just trying to live and do what they love. And it's just silly that we can't even enjoy the entertainment to where this is a whole hour and a half, 2 hour conversation about what's going on in the show. And it's to the point where it's getting overshadowed almost. It's just sad.
That part.
It's really sad.
Al, before I go, can I before you go, can I add in
Please
something?
do, sir. Please
course, man.
do.
I also wanted to add like how they're muddying the waters of, oh, we can't criticize Reva. If we do, we're racist, or if you don't like it, you're racist. Like they seem to think that black people are just that sensitive that we won't allow any kind of criticism or any kind of talk. And I don't like how they're doing that. They're muddying the waters because that's not what we're saying or that's not what we're doing. It's like, yeah, you can criticize Reva, but when you use those typical stereotypical criticisms or you're criticizing her before you see her on the screen or you're making things up about what's happening in the show, then yeah, we have a problem with that.
Facts. And some of the comments was just downright racist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that too.
Like we all know racism when we read it, when we see it, when we hear it. You know, because there's a difference. And look, I'm gonna peel before I get into my two pieces. I'm gonna peel the curtain back for people. People, white, black, brown, anywhere in between. Black people in particular know when you're being racist and when you're not. That's why we don't necessarily fly off the handle when you say some stuff that you might actually in your mind go, oh my God, I didn't mean to say that. And they probably think I'm racist. No, because we know. Because there's a difference between an honest mistake or a slip up or something that you say out of ignorance, as opposed to you saying something that we know you are specifically trying to say to trigger a nerve. Right. It's a difference. And that's those of us who choose to use both sides of our brain when making decisions. Those of us who choose to straddle that line of the gray and don't go too far Jedi or too far Sith with it, understand. And that's why we approach situations the way that we approach them. Because we understand that human beings are fallible. We're not perfect. None of us are walking this earth. Right. So I'm not going to hold somebody to a standard that I know I couldn't meet. That's the way I approach life, period. I'm not going to expect anything out of somebody else that I wouldn't expect from myself. And that's how I look at any situation. That being the case, I got so many thoughts on this Reva stuff, man. And I got to say stuff because Mama good in here. And I'm trying to keep my hand on this button because yeah. So let me first touch on the actual idea of these DMs. This is not a surprise. This is not a, oh, I'm so appalled that in 2022 we still, newsflash, I don't expect this to ever go away. That's just me. I know how, as long as human beings continue to be individuals, free thinking individuals who are not able to be programmed to think, act, and feel a certain way, you are going to have people who will inherently dislike your ass. Sorry, Mama Good. People just ain't gonna like you. It's just going, there are billions of people. Not everybody's going to be liked. And some people are going to dislike you for what you feel to be shallow, stupid reasons, like your skin color. It's not about trying to abolish people's thoughts or their opinions about you. It's learning to cope and respect other people's opinions and people having enough respect to keep certain opinions to themselves and not let those opinions govern how they treat human beings. I am a black supremacist because I feel I am a black man. So I am proud of my race, but does that mean that I'm talking down or that I feel like anybody else's race is any less than mine? No, absolutely not. We should all be supremacists. We should all be, that's like, I treat it just like I treat anything else. If we talking about sports, I got my squad, you got your squad. We competing in the spirit of competition, but neither one of us wants to see anybody get hurt. I'm not trying to like take your knees out to get to the chip. It ain't like that. But we have pride and we respect where we come from, just like you respect where you come from. I have no issues with that. But when the line gets crossed and when you start trying to make comments to purposely and intently afflict my better judgment, to try to bring me, and we know this is what this is. This is not about these people wanting anything more than to try to get a response from this young lady so that they can then say, look what this person said to me in my DMs. They trying to trigger. We know what this is. Trying to trigger. And it's sad that in 2022, we still got it going on this level, but we all know what it is. Now, one of the comments I heard this week in response to this is, well, why would a well-known actress like this have their DMs open to just anybody? Miss me with that.
Right.
Because here's the thing. We live in an age and in a society where people's social status when it comes to social media matters almost more than their ability to do whatever it is they're famous for doing. Like your social interactions make more or have more to do with your actual accomplishments. And if you don't believe so, just look at some of the people that have been canceled and the reason they've been canceled.
Right.
So I don't fault a celebrity for having an interaction publicly or privately with a fan. We know what kind of waters you're getting into, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to keep it to yourself when you get undesirable messages. Because I think the bigger point of her putting it out there is to say it's 2022 and we still dealing with this.
Right.
As ignorant as it is, it doesn't have to be something that hurt her, and I'm sure it did, but even if it was just something she was putting out there for informational purposes only. We just want to let people know when we hear those comments about, well, where do you see all of this racism? Or why is it that every time I hear something, it's got to be with race? Because it's 2022 and this kind of stuff is still happening. That's why. And I'm not sitting here acting like my people are the only ones dealing with that type of racism, because it happens globally.
Globally.
It's not something that is specific to us. It's not something that is, unique to us. Everybody in some way, shape, or form, including white people, have been made to feel less than, subjugated, or disrespected in some kind of way culturally. And what we need to be trying to figure out is how we can all get on a page where it's like, you know what? I don't have to like everything about you, but that doesn't mean I don't have to respect you. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans. We breathe the same air. So none of us should be looking at anybody any differently. Now, I really want to get into, though, kind of like the story surrounding the story, because here's where I get mad. Is you get people that immediately start co-opting this whole situation and trying to push a narrative. So one of the things that I heard was, oh, well, how is Disney going to come out and speak out against something and they racist?
Bruh.
And you're not? and you're so now we in a place where we got to call out, or we got to challenge a company for doing what the company had no choice in doing. Because I guarantee you this, had Disney sat on their hands and not said anything, you know who would have been coming after them? Everybody in the Black Lives Matter movement saying, why didn't you speak up, Disney? Where was your voice on this, Disney? Why didn't you do something about this? Why didn't you address this, Disney? Here's another example of another corporation. Disney's damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Right.
Every corporation is. And this is why I don't want corporations getting involved in the racial agenda or conversation, because companies are not driven by their ethics. They're driven by their income, their assets. Disney knew what they were doing. They were protecting their assets because they don't want Black Twitter coming after them for not standing by that young lady when she put this out there. It's good business. And I see that and I respect it. I'm not mad at it. I don't think it's a cheap attempt for them to garner support. Because I'm going to tell you like this, as a black man, Disney coming out and saying racism is bad. Yeah, and the sky's blue. What is that?
Right.
That's not going to make me go, let me go subscribe to Disney Plus. But
We already subscribed.
I'm already subscribed.
Already up on it.
And I'm going to stay subscribed because, and here's the thing, it's like, I also heard, like I was talking to somebody about this and it was like, oh, well, doesn't that make you racist if you're supporting these people who are allowing these racist things to happen? What?
Huh?
That's not even logic. So I'm a racist because I choose to support somebody who may or may not have racist tendencies.
Right.
That's what we doing with entertainment now, because I guarantee you, if we was to pull back the curtain on some of your favorite entertainment and the people responsible for it, it wouldn't be a pretty picture, man. It wouldn't be pretty. Look, some of these,
and I'm Hulk Hogan to Joe Rogan.
Bruh.
Taking it right now.
You think some of these shows and stuff that's on ABC, on Netflix, on Hulu, ain't produced by some of these same people that was like at them Harvey Weinstein parties?
Right.
Like let's get real for a minute now. Like, you really want to go there? Let's start looking at it real close, because again, if we're looking at it with that kind of a microscope, then you got to do it on both sides. And all I'm saying is, I don't choose to hold my entertainment to a moral standard because my entertainment is not my moral compass. I'm not watching Star Wars for information on how I should live my life as a human being. Now, if I happen to get a nugget that I can relate to my life, cool. Then yes, I feel like my entertainment has enriched me, but that's exactly what entertainment is for me. It's an escape from reality, not a reminder of it. I get those every single day. So for me,
facts.
So for me, when you talk about, well, they came out and said this, or they're supporting this only because it's out of necessity, or yes, it is, because none of this really matters in the grand scheme of it. When you look at these DMs and what was put out there, none of it is going to stop Star Wars from doing what Star Wars is doing. None of it is going to stop that young lady from acting, unless it gets to a point where it affects her to that point mentally and emotionally. God forbid that gets to be the case. But it's still going to go on. People are still going to love Star Wars. People are still going to hate Star Wars. And I guarantee you that the same people that are on your social media perpetuating the nonsense will continue to perpetuate the nonsense, And if Star Wars goes out of style, guess what they gonna do? Go find some more nonsense to perpetuate somewhere else, because that's exactly what they do, because that's become a way of sustaining yourself financially. You can actually now make a career out of trying to get mofos canceled or trying to drum up negativity within a fandom. I've seen it. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep liking what I like. I'm going to keep speaking on the stuff that I feel like ain't right, and I'm going to keep defending the stuff that I feel like is right. And every now and then just reminding people that it ain't really that deep.
It's not, man.
We talking about Star Wars, man. This does not really affect you like that. It should not. I don't care what type of an intimate relationship you have with Star Wars. If you cannot separate that this is an imaginary world with imaginary people who are getting paid, and that their lines both on screen and off are scripted, that they have people telling them what to say and how to say it, not just for public relations, but for the art of marketing and swaying your opinion to keep you spending your money. And even if you not spending money and you getting it for free 99, you know what you getting with them? Time. And time is far more valuable than money.
You ain't lying. You ain't getting that back.
Exactly. So that's all I'm saying, man, is at the end of the day, before you start pointing fingers, before you start looking at whoever and saying who's right and who's wrong, just take a step back and look at that situation and go, does it even affect me? And if it does, how much time and energy am I willing to give to it? And do I have the correct perspective? Just a few questions to ask, man. I'm just saying.
What he said, man. What he said.
It's just me.
What he said. So I got a question for y'all to lighten up the mood.
Let's do it.
Within the same spirit, how y'all feel about Darth Vader being played by a white man but having a black man's voice? That racist story. Like, what is that?
Let me tell you something. The way he got burnt on Mustafar, it turned him black.
I'm trying to tell you,
because that would make it. You know what? That's kind of like, I'm gonna give you the opposite of that. It's like the song by Sir Mix-a-Lot, "Baby Got Back."
Right.
My man had a line said, "Turn around, stick it out. Even white boys got to shout." Because sometimes you see something that just it totally surpasses all quantifiable racist creeds. You just and your soul celebrates.
Right.
And that's what happened to Anakin. It was just the exact opposite. His soul hurt. When you get burnt like that, and all
He
four
got
of your
burnt
limbs
to
get
his
cut,
soul.
he got burnt to his soul.
And then turned into Paul Mooney. And now he wants to go after Obi-Wan.
Oh boy, if Paul Mooney
He's
was
like-
voicing Vader, bro, like hold on,
Anakin like, you turn me into a black man. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you.
I hate you.
Exactly.
I hate you. I'm black.
That's now we see how it really went down. Boy, look. Anakin was mad as hell. He's like, you know what this means for me in the galaxy now?
I'm gonna
can't
call me
validate-
names.
Oh,
I can't
man.
validate parking anymore.
You see all of these messages I've got in my galactic inbox?
I got more worries than hating sand now. My white privilege is gone.
It's gone.
Right? That's what it is.
Boy, look. I'm trying
Man.
to tell you, boy. Vader was like, you know what? This is bull with a capital B, bro. That's why.
No.
That's why.
He
That's
should've-
why he threw Palpatine over there, because you know that's how we handle stuff. Like, look, as soon as I get my, just don't let me get my hands on you. The first time he was able to get his hands on Palpatine, he chunked his ass off over
Right.
the balcony. Like, you know what? Nah, this to hell with you, bro. I ain't got time.
Right. No.
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna tell you what really happened. If it wasn't for this show, everybody would have thought that because Mace Windu got yeeted out the window, he turned into Darth Vader.
Mm.
I mean, that would be the only thing that would make sense. He came back as actual Samuel L. Jackson and put it in Darth Vader's body. Somebody needs to do a parody of that. Darth
Man.
Vader sounding like Samuel L. Jackson.
Man,
I'm down with that one.
That would have to be rated R, because there'd have to be a
You
MF
ain't like
quota.
it.
Like he would have to by default say MF. Like
Yeah,
at least every other line.
right. Especially while he's choking somebody.
Man.
That'd be the first word to come out. As soon as he starts force choking somebody.
Oh man, yeah, that's woo.
I did find that kind of interesting though. That is like Vader's go-to. Like even in the show, first thing you see my man do is choke somebody out. It's
Come
just-
on, man. Like
He just loves it.
LLB, you know how this go, man.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
do.
look. Them hands is the first to go, man. Like you just that's the first, you know, when somebody takes you to that point in anger, like you just and my man ain't got the so he just I'ma just choke this.
See, that's another reason why I think Vader's black. I mean, or he's Homer Simpson. Darth Vader's probably he done burnt up, turned to Homer Simpson. Because what's he always doing to Bart? Left and right, always choking the hell out of Bart. Always.
See, now you're making connections that people ain't ready for, man. Now you're making
Right.
connections
You
to
going
people.
real deep there.
Yeah, people ain't ready for us to blow it open like that, man.
Not tonight.
Multiverse, people. It's the multiverse.
It's real.
We got variant Vaders out here. Gotta
So,
be careful.
I tell you what, keeping it light. I got a question, LB, because you asked about the Chippendales movie. What did you think about it, man? Were you on the side of the people that said it was trash and you hated it, or did you feel like it was alright?
Man, I thought the trailer was absolute trash and ridiculous. I was like, what is going on in here?
Right.
But I watched the movie, bruh, and I was like, you know, I'm enjoying this.
Mm.
This is better than what
Okay.
I thought. Like, I felt like the third act kind of like fell off because it went into the typical, kid movie third act. But I really enjoyed it, man. I thought I was gonna hate CGI Dale,
Mm-hmm.
but like, it worked. It worked, man. If Disney did more movies like that, I'd be cool with it, man.
That's what's up. I have to agree, man. I checked it out just because I kept seeing all of the division, and all of this stuff, comes across my YouTube feed, my personal YouTube feed. So I follow, I like to watch, get people's initial reactions on stuff and just see how people feel, because I like catching people in the moment, fresh off something. Let me know what you're thinking before you had time to kind of collect your thoughts. And it was you had a contingent of folk that was this wasn't it, and it was worse than The Matrix and stuff like that. And then I had people that was oh, well, if you didn't like this, then you just a cynical curmudgeon and blah, 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 blah. So rather than me jumping to a conclusion, I was like, let me check this movie out. I liked it, man. I liked it. And I'm not somebody that was a huge Rescue Rangers fan as a kid. I'm familiar with the show. I used to watch it or whatever, but I was more Darkwing Duck, Ninja Turtles, stuff in there. But I felt like if you're going to do a movie like that is going to go back to something that was popular when people our age were younger, that's the way you do it. Because that movie was like a movie where kids could get into it, but we were just as geek because you see the cameos and whatnot, and you like, oh, this is funny. Like the way that they did Peter Pan and junk like that. Like it's like you start laughing because you like, bro, this is wild. And it reminded me of Shrek. It reminded me of the first Shrek movie and how everybody kept telling me about this movie, and I'm thinking I'm finna sit down and watch a kid movie, and I'm like 30 minutes into it, I'm like, wait a minute, these jokes is not children jokes. Like these is adult jokes, like on the real. And this is like you had a little bit of that with Rescue Rangers, but what was so fun for me was the way that they evolved, like all of the characters that they put in there, like just the way that they gave them actual lives and whatnot. It was hilarious to me. Like Peter Pan was one that stood out. Like Peter Pan stood out to me big time. I was cracking up off of him. He was like, for a minute, I thought he asked him if they was narcs. I was like, bro, what? Like, but like, okay. He was dope. The little B was another dope one because he had the Allstate man voice, and that was funny to me. That had a little. I'm one of those people that like you got the little. Name, I call him an Allstate dude. But
are you in good hands?
Yes.
That threw me for a loop like the whole time. I'm sitting there like, how did you get with Gadget and have these kids?
Bruh, like, thank you. I was so confused. I had so many questions, bro. I was like, hold on, I'm not mad, number one. Like, get it how you live, Playboy, but how did that work exactly? Wow. Like, what's the mathematics on that, man? Like,
I'm gonna have to check this out.
They had lots of kids too, bro. It's not like one. Right. It wasn't a miracle baby, bro. No, they had a few.
They figured that out and was like, we finna scale this.
We
like,
how run with this, right?
But like, I see Jedi Mike drop it in the chat, man. But like, my runaway was Ugly Sonic, bro. Like Ugly Sonic had me dead, bro. When I saw they put Ugly Sonic in the movie, I was dead. I was like, okay, Disney, y'all got jokes. This is hilarious.
Right. Okay. I'm glad Kendall cleared that up because I was wondering if he's not ever seen Shrek.
Oh no. I was finna say, boy, it was finna be like movie night.
Yeah.
But
one thing about the movie, the Rescue Ranger movie, I went back and checked out the cartoon because, like you, like I watched it, but it wasn't like Power Rangers must watch every day. Like if it was on, it was on. So I went back and watched the cartoon. And I was like, yeah, this is it fits in the same spirit. Like the cartoon was funny, and like you said, having them had lives and moved on and stuff. Like, yeah, it fits, man. It fits.
Well, see, and here's what got me, because I heard people, like most of the people that were critics of it, one of their biggest things was, well, it wasn't a Rescue Rangers movie. It didn't feel like the Rescue Rangers. And I'm like, why didn't it? They were like generic crime solvers. That's legit what they did this entire movie. They just did it from a realistic perspective because they gave you kind of a more meta approach on it. So everything included, and like to your point, the third act got real cheesy because the third act went straight into like cartoon, let's solve the crime mode. Like everything was predictable because that's exactly how like Rescue Rangers and show episodic content like that would play out. So they basically gave you they did what the Matrix 4 tried to do, but they did it in a way that made sense and was entertaining. They commented.
If you still want to keep us wanting to watch this,
hey,
drop this Matrix talk now.
Look, I'm not telling you that.
Don't do that.
I'm not saying by any means from a quality standpoint. I'm saying conceptually, the meta commentary, kind of the self-referential stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Like the Matrix fumbled all of that. Like they ruined every second of that movie. And I was expecting, like legit, I was worried Rescue Rangers was gonna do the same thing, but no, they did that. It was a good movie, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was expecting those typical Hollywood make a cartoon kids show into the movie, and they make it into real life, and it's just absolute trash for the full 90 minutes. But nah, man, it wasn't. The criticism, if you said that it wasn't a Rescue Rangers movie, one thing I didn't like, and it doesn't really bother me that much, is that the Rescue Rangers like weren't involved in the entire thing.
Right.
They like Gadget and them came in like for the last 20 minutes and they did a couple things. But other than that, man, I'm not tripping. But it's a kids movie. Like,
right. Ultimately, that's what it boils down to. It's a movie for children, and they tried to give adults something in it to kind of like keep you entertained, because most of these movies, like, I know Frozen, but I couldn't tell you Frozen from start to finish. I just know it's two sisters and it's a bunch of singing, and one of them both of them got magical powers or something like that, and it's like Let It Go and the snowman, and that's it. But I'm not watching that. If I'm watching that, I'm watching that because my children enjoy it. But this is the type of movie where my children enjoy it, but there's something in it for me too, because my children didn't get all of those references. You know what I'm saying? When they start popping up cartoon, what was it, Tiger? Like, who? You know how deep of a cut that is? Like, people ain't looking for that kind of stuff, man. And it was just like watching that. It got to a point where it became a game. Like a third of the movie, you're like, all right, so who they finna cameo next? Like, who am I gonna be able to catch on this next shot? So that's why I enjoyed it, man. I had fun with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Y'all convinced me.
It'd be a good movie for a Mayne movie night. It would.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We might have to do that as a Mayne movie night.
Ooh, Kendall. No, we might have to get on stream and debate that. Shrek 2 better than Shrek the original? LB,
no.
Mayne. LB, am I
What
crazy?
are you thinking, LB?
all right, so I haven't seen those movies probably since high school era.
Okay,
well,
that's
whenever
fair.
I stopped watching them after one of those trash third or fourth or whatever it was. But at the time, I thought Shrek 2 was better. But with that said, when I was younger, I was one of those people that always thought the sequel was better than the original.
Gotcha.
So I'm pretty sure if I watched it now, my mind would probably change. But I don't know, bro. I ain't seen them things so long.
I'm gonna back off of my initial shock and because I'm rethinking Shrek 2 and I'm forgetting about a couple of scenes. Shrek 2,
Man, there were a couple
particularly
things in
with
Shrek 2.
Pinocchio, bro. Like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You might be right. I'm gonna have to go back and watch them, Kendall. I'm gonna have to watch them both.
Is that the one with the giant gingerbread man?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You a monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When he poured that milk on him, I was done. I can't lie.
Ooh, something. Star Wars MCU say better than Roger Rabbit. Man, hell no.
Oh, no.
Roger Rabbit will always and forever be the OG, original, greatest animated like crossover of all time. Like, nobody's touching Roger Rabbit, bro. Like, Roger Rabbit did that. Like, way before, like, just from, and not just from like an enjoyment standpoint, but just from a technical, like, an execution, the way that they were able to intertwine like live action with like animated and made it look in like the early 90s, made it look legit. Like, oh man.
I felt like that question was kind of disrespectful, to be honest with you.
Hey,
Right.
hey, you're not wrong, bro. You're not
Yo,
wrong.
we got some young people in our chat.
Hey, they
LB.
still.
Yeah.
They should know.
They probably think Frozen's the greatest Disney movie of all time.
Stop that madness.
Hurt.
Hey, Cool World was dope. Second Street. I love
Yes.
Cool World.
Cool World.
Hey, Cool World is when I was a teenager by Cool World time, so that's different. Like, Cool World's like, hey, okay. Like, I wasn't one of them Jessica Rabbit people. I'm sorry. She just wasn't it. But
Hey,
old girl
Kim
from Cool
Basinger.
World.
Kim Basinger, dude. Woo.
Cool
the
World.
Cool World with the 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Cool World.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool
they
World was
man.
better than 4%, but it wasn't nothing like.
I mean, no, they might be right about that 4%, but it was still enjoyable.
Yeah, it
was
was,
4%
man.
enjoyable. And that's at least if I derived every bit of that 4%. Okay, so they could go somewhere
then
with that.
since we talking children's and we talking Disney then, and I heard LB mention it. LB, what favorite animated Disney movie, man? Go.
The Lion King, bruh.
Ah, yes, yes.
Man.
See,
Like,
that's why I rock with LB.
I was in 4th grade, bruh. Went to the movie theater. We watched it in class, music class. Classic, bruh. Like,
Every day.
Yeah.
That's just one of those things where, look, man, that's not an opinion to me. It's a fact. It's the best Disney movie. And when they remade that movie, bruh.
You loved it?
No,
It was
absolutely not.
You thought it was wonderful?
All right, you know how everyone's like Star Wars ruined my childhood. I was almost there, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, for the force choke everybody who made that Lion King movie.
Boy,
I mean,
look.
Jon Favreau.
I ended up watching it when it came on Disney Plus, and like, when I watched it, I wasn't even mad at it anymore because I was just like, bruh, this movie is so blah. There's no reason to be upset and angry about it. None.
Yeah,
That's not how I felt
I
about
have
that.
yet to watch it.
Don't.
I'm not. I refuse.
Thank
When
you.
I heard
Oh,
about it, I said, no, I'm not going to let it do it to me. I'm not going. I did the same thing with Jungle Book. You are not going to tarnish any memories I have of listening to Jason Weaver singing Hakuna Matata when I was in 6th grade, bro. Like, you're not finna do it.
That remake was the first movie that I've ever compartmentalized and then learned to throw that box away. I had to physically teach myself how to take that compartment and expel that from my mind.
Hey, and as far as I'm concerned, T-Rev, only reason Jon Favreau did those movies because that was the only way they was gonna let him do Star Wars the way he wanted to do it. That was part of the negotiation, and he was like, "You got a deal."
I mean, I promise you, bro. Like, I just when I finished the movie, I just felt empty. Like, I felt nothing. I was just like, okay, I've gotten that out my way. I can honestly say I'm no longer angry, but
I'm void of all emotion. So even if I tried to be angry, I wouldn't know how to bring that up.
That was me in Matrix 4. That's how I felt. I had to mourn that movie for like 3 days.
This is true because he even hit me up. I watched it again. And I'm like, why?
Because I had to. Because it was that first step. It was denial. I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, that wasn't this. I must have been like, that sativa must have been old or something. I had to. I don't know what happened, but that wasn't the movie I remember.
Sativa, bro.
Somebody gave me some boo boo, man. I was like, nah, wait a minute. This is not. I gotta watch this again. It was worse the second time.
It was Reggie.
It was so worse. It was worse than Reggie, bro. It was like
don't watch it.
Don't do it.
Won't.
Don't let it taint what little respect you might have for the original trilogy. Because look, I'm not somebody trying to swear up and down that Reloaded and Revolutions was like the best sequels ever made. Look, we know what that is. But I would have went my whole life with those being the only Matrix we got after the first one. If we could have just avoided 4, bro.
And this brings me to my next question for you, LB.
Oh, before you ask that question, let me say something about the Matrix though. Like, like you just mentioned, Reload and Revolutions. Like, I thought the Matrix, the first one, was like amazing, like great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't seen Reloaded, but Revolutions. This is like I fell asleep at the theater, and I was just like, okay. So I've never quite understood this wanting more Matrix movies, and then like when this one came out and people say it was trash, I'm like, bruh. The last one wasn't all that.
No,
it's like, and then not only that, like the Wachowskis, like if you look at their resume,
they're
not good.
No, they caught lightning in a bottle, bro. Like caught lightning in a bottle.
You think giving them a 20-year break and coming back to it's gonna make them improve? Like,
I'm gonna tell you what Reloaded and Revolutions are to me at this point in my life. They are the equivalent of the prequel trilogy. I know all the flaws both of those movies have. I know how cringeworthy it can be to watch both of those movies, particularly when you're sitting there trying to understand what the hell the architect is talking about at the end of that second movie. But over time, I have gotten to a point where I look completely past those flaws because I am just that much into that world. And the reason I was looking forward to a 4th one was because I thought this was like gonna be the get right movie. Like I thought this was finna be okay, we finna go back and do this the way we should have done it the first time and make it right.
That's what I thought too.
No, they basically, this was a situation, I don't care what nobody else says, it ain't no way you're gonna convince me otherwise. They called that the one Wachowski that did show up and was like, we doing the Matrix with or without y'all. So either show up and direct this movie or we just gonna do it. And she was like, oh, you want to do a movie? We'll do a movie then. Here you go. And that was basically her with 2 middle fingers to Warner Brothers. Like, you want to try to take my property from me? I'm finna bury this ish and you will never get to use it again. That's the only way you gonna tell. That is the only explanation I will take for why that movie turned out like that. She just decided, I'm gonna kill the baby. If you ain't fit, and nobody like, I'm drowning it. Nobody gets it.
I don't know if that killing the baby phrase is the right time right now. It might be.
Hey man, I'm sorry, I'm tapping into my Vader right there. I was just like, I was in the moment right there.
I mean, you could be Vader because Vader is black now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Look, and I'm about a good 3-piece suit away from James Earl Jones anyway. Like, look, you get a couple of our followers sipping on something, and I turn on this voice mod. They might think I was there. The Mayne's got James Earl Jones on the screen.
Right.
Just
his voice. Just his voice.
Hey man,
he don't know how to work the camera, so he's just a voice.
He's just.
If he did come on, he'd probably wear the damn mask anyway.
Oh man, look, I don't care if it was for 2.5 seconds. James Earl Jones come on here, and all he got to do is just say Luke. That's it. That's all I need is Luke.
Probably end the show after that too.
Hey,
right after
that we would drop that like 87 times in the intro.
Oh yeah, it'd be on TikTok, Twitter. It'd be on everything.
The Luke mix.
Right.
Oh man, yes, King Jaffa himself. Yeah. Man.
But as you saw earlier, I was trying to segue out of this question because that's just, ugh. But anyway, I was gonna say that Morbius was better than The Matrix.
Hey,
See?
I had successfully purged that movie from my memory, and now here you go drumming it back up, bruh.
Exactly.
Oh my God!
And I was gonna ask the homie LB, what did he think if he even saw? Did you even see Morbius?
No,
good.
Good. Look, let me tell you something. You people out there that love this entertainment geek culture stuff, you don't have to watch every movie, bruh. You stop having hope for things that look like absolute trash. Like nothing
Avengers,
about this Morbius trailer said to be like, yeah, nothing about it said like, bruh, I need to watch this movie one day. Nothing about it.
Oh,
it looks like a bootleg Underworld movie. Like seriously, bro, it looks like it belonged in that era, bro.
Hey, he's not wrong.
That's so accurate.
But like, you know what's bad is they had better effects in Underworld than this.
I know.
Like, bro, I'm a fan of the Underworld movies. Shout out to Kate Beckinsale.
Right.
But like, bro, Kate Beckinsale ain't in Morbius, so why are you watching it?
Right.
Oh
my
man,
gosh.
it was like, oh, that's too true. Like that movie looked like it had 05 special effects written out. As a matter of fact, it looked like it had 05 Sci-Fi Network special effects.
Yes.
Like it looked like it was made on that same assembly line them bootleg movies and Rescue Rangers being made at. Like that.
It looked like the Outer Limits.
It wasn't
At all.
When Morbius came out, man, I was just like, bruh, y'all out here really talking about going to see this movie. Y'all are really wasting your money. So don't be out here complaining about gas prices, bro, okay?
Right.
Facts. That was 3 gallons you just spent watching that.
Wasn't it?
Exactly.
Boy.
Oh my goodness. First that he ain't seen it yet. Please do not watch it.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Like, I'm one of those people, like, look, man, you can't judge something until you actually watch it. But like, bruh.
There's some things you can judge from the trailer.
This is one of those things, bruh.
I knew it wasn't no way in hell that movie was gonna be good.
And you still watched it.
I gave it my time. I ain't give it my money. I don't even have a problem saying it. I bootlegged that one. I don't even have a problem saying it.
Bruh.
I'm gonna just call it like it is. I wasn't watching to pay to see that movie, bro. No.
I wish your power would have went out that day.
Look,
before
you and me too. You and me too.
Right.
I'm watching Tyrese.
Yeah.
Tyrese don't know what movie he in. He think he in Transformers one minute. Next thing he in Four Brothers.
Man, speaking of Tyrese, like I was listening to a podcast and he was talking about the movie. And like what you just said, bruh, he literally had no idea what he was talking about with this movie, bruh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, did you like just show up and just winged it the entire time or something?
Yeah. When you watch the movie, he did. It like it like they gave
No
him his
script.
lines 5 minutes before he had to say them. Like every scene. Like he was like, oh, so this is what I'm saying? Okay. I'm like, bro, this is terrible. Like you've been acting too long for this to be this bad. I've seen you in other movies. It ain't this bad.
Like you ain't get choked out in Baby Boy for this, bruh.
Bruh, serious, man. Like you had all the fear, and I get that was Ving Rhames, but you had all the fear in your heart. Like you wasn't expecting him to come back with that arm. Like when they said cut, you jumped up like, say, bro, wait a minute.
Right.
This is what you call method acting, boy.
Yeah, man. That part.
So now he's got the meats. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, next question I got. How do you feel about the Joker getting a sequel?
Expected.
Expected?
Come on, man. You saw the way people. I'm surprised.
I mean, it
that they
made $1 billion.
I'm surprised they didn't retcon and try to put the Joaquin Phoenix Joker in the next the Batman movie.
I'm glad they didn't try to do that. It wouldn't have fit anyway. It'd have been horrible.
The two
That'd have been completely
bootleg
horrible.
ass versions of iconic characters.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like fits like
Well,
a
then-
glove.
Next question. What did you think about the Batman then, LB?
I haven't watched it, bruh. I checked out of DC, bruh. Like
It sounds like it. Sounds like a lot
after
of
this-
people are.
after the Snyder cut, like that was like the swan song for me. I checked out, bruh. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
I can.
I mean, I and not only that, man. I know how Matt Reeves does his movies, so it's just like I ain't got 3 hours of time for that. Like you say, time is more important than money, bruh.
Yeah, man.
I ain't got 3 hours for that.
Mm-mm.
Right. I seen somewhere that they were saying they think that Matt Reeves should do a Wolverine movie. Hold on, where's my crickets at? Let me get my crickets.
Matt Reeves can make movies. He can make all the movies he wants, but he need to stay away from my Marvel characters.
Thank you. See, thank you. Thank you.
The only thing
Exactly
I'll
what I
add,
said.
the only thing, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on the camera when I say this. Mama Good, I'm sorry. Only thing I'll add to that, LB, that you said wrong is you need to tell Matt Reeves to stay the away from Marvel. Keep your mother away from my to do all the DC you want. You can do DC all day. Don't touch Wolverine.
I agree. I totally agree.
Don't touch
We can't be doing this, man. We can't do this, man. Mm-mm. Not at all. That's exactly what I said. Stay away from my Marvel. I like my superhero movies to keep me awake.
Yeah, keep him and Zack Snyder
Hey,
away from
Hey, the
Marvel
Batman
Studios.
is one hell of a lullaby, man.
Dude, give me 15 minutes in that movie, and I promise you, no melatonin, I'm out.
Hey,
I'm knocked.
as soon as he show up to
couldn't
the
do it.
crime scene, bro, I'm drifting.
We were talking before about how I be staying up all night. Maybe I need to play the Batman every night.
Hey, watch the
Look,
Batman.
That is the prescription you need, bro.
Yes.
Just play it.
Yes.
And, but here's the thing: is you gotta watch. You gotta start watching it like you seriously finna try to watch this movie.
Yes.
You gotta go in committed and give it 10 minutes.
Like I'm gonna finish this, and I guarantee you, by the time the Riddler goes,
Yep,
You're gonna be-
it's a wrap.
you're gonna be done.
You're gonna wake up trying to remember what you was watching last.
Right.
I don't know why they made it 3 hours. Like, bro, like really?
It was unnecessary.
Mm-mm.
It's getting a lot more credit than it deserves, if you ask me, and it's getting a sequel.
Yep.
Hopefully,
of
the
course it's
sequel
getting
will
the
be
sequel,
better.
man. Of
Now,
course.
like, I haven't seen it obviously. So, but like, just knowing how Matt Reeves does his movies, it's like people praising it because it's not the typical look of a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. I will say, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that Batman is like completely horrible. I don't want to get that message across. But what I am saying is the rewatchability on the Batman is very, very low. Like you might if you haven't seen it, you might get away with watching it completely once. But from there, you're going to start, if you rewatch it, you're going to start pulling some things out of it that's just complete plot holes. You're going to start looking at Batman and being like, even for a year or two, this is not a Batman. You can look at Selena Kyle and realize that they should have at least put the goggles over the mask instead of just giving her whatever the hell they was thinking they was doing with the mask, looking like it came from Adventure Time, but then they dyed it black. I don't know what they was thinking they was doing with some of the stuff when you start rewatching it. It's just the rewatchability on that is very low, and I'm surprised it even hit as high as it did on Rotten Tomatoes. Like seriously.
And Batman's a comic book superhero. Like, you're supposed to be able to watch those kind of movies more than once, bruh.
Right. It's overly grounded. Like, I like the grounded take to where, I don't even almost care to even spoil it because it's not even a spoiler. But they grounded Batman's like parents' background story to where it's more believable that they would get killed from a mob perspective. So when you see that and be like, you know what, I can agree with that creating Batman more than his parents just up and getting offed, and then we got crime in Gotham, and now all of a sudden he wants to be Batman to help out. Like, now I believe that he would want to be Batman, but then after that, everything else just stays completely grounded, except for the fact that Batman's like omnipotent, almost, until he gets blasted in his bloody chest. That happens to take him down. That's like the only thing that takes him down. But yeah, they shoot him everywhere else but the head. You see that in the trailer, so
flying squirrel parasail blade took him down too.
Gosh.
That was bro, like
I just don't buy Robert Pattinson as a Batman. Like,
Thank you.
That's like me. That's just like me. Like, that's like me being saying I'm Batman, bro. Like, if I put on a Batman suit, you're not gonna believe it, bro. Like, oh, I mean, I'm black for one, but like, just imagine I'm not black. Like, you're not gonna believe me as Batman, bro.
You're more believable than Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I'd have to
I'm not putting no fear in nobody's heart with a Batman, so they think they gonna offer me some candy for Halloween, bro.
Robert Pattinson looked like the stunt man didn't even respect his ass, man. Like, the way he was getting beat on in them scenes, bro. I'm like, the stunt man was like, how this mother gonna be Batman? Like, they stop him for real.
Robert Pattinson looked like he just came from Comic-Con in that movie, bro.
Man, look, I'm so, it's a good feeling to finally get confirmation, man, because I thought I was crazy for a minute. Mayne's had me thinking I had lost my mind, boy. I was over here saying these exact words. You would almost think I prepped you before the show. No, man, it's just really that bad, y'all. It's really it's really like that.
You did mail me a notepad.
Hey, man, don't talk about that. Hey, man. You're giving away the secrets.
Would tell. Right.
See, man, you can't tell. That's why you can't tell people nothing.
Can't tell black people nothing.
Can't tell them nothing. Man.
Can't shut up.
But what's good, man? Well, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Did you catch Top Gun? I didn't see Top Gun.
No,
yet.
I have not.
Anybody here seen Top Gun yet?
I ain't seen the first Top Gun.
You talk about the white nationalist's favorite movie right now.
Effing A.
Right. Hey, it's Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie ever so far.
Of course
apparently.
it is.
Somehow.
Of course it is. Come on, man.
I gotta thought Mission Impossible would have been one of his highest grossing. Here, that Top Gun Maverick.
Mission Impossible had Ving Rhames, bro. That dinged him a point.
Right.
He got
Jeremy Renner couldn't even save him.
Nope. It was like
Henry Cavill couldn't even save him.
Nope.
It was like that damn Ving Rhames is still in that
Ving
movie.
Rhames is in it.
As long as he's got the meats, we got to be out of here.
Tom Cruise knew what he was doing with this movie, bruh.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah, he did.
Of course he did.
Bruh, I drove past the movie theater. I ain't seen so many cars with American flags in the movie theater in my life, bruh.
He said he thought it was a rally for a minute. Like, hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
He even saw a few Confederate flags out there.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, but look, again, and I'm gonna tie it back to my point though. I ain't even mad at it. Like, you should have movies that you can be proud of from your culture. I'm not tripping. It's not for me, but you don't expect me to walk up in there and be like, yeah, let's go. But that's cool. Like, everybody's got what they like, man, and I'm not against that in any way. Just don't try to infringe that on everybody else. Like, love what you love, do what you do. Have fun the way you like to have fun. If you still playing Atari in 2022, cool. Ain't nobody tripping. Just don't come to my house with it. It
Like,
don't
you got
connect.
more than 8 bits.
Yeah, I got emulators for that, bro. I ain't got time to be
Right.
blowing on no tapes. No,
Right.
we ain't doing that. No.
All right, I got 2 more questions, and then we could do whatever after that.
That's what's up.
LB, have you caught Stranger Things season 4 yet?
Never watched Stranger Things.
Never watched Stranger Things.
Never.
I'm actually kind of
Wow.
relieved. I like Stranger Things. I ain't caught the 4th one yet, and I think the biggest reason why is everybody is so high up on the hype right now that I kind of want to wait
Yeah.
for that hype to drop down a little bit, so when I can watch it, I can enjoy it without having to go on Twitter or everywhere else and see all the hype about it. But
Yeah.
I also think that when that hype drops down for Stranger Things 4, so will some more of Netflix's stock,
Oof.
because it's been dropping. And I think Stranger Things is like that last finger. Somehow the character, when they hanging on that last finger, is the strongest finger ever, holding their whole body weight. I feel like that's what Stranger
That's
Things
it.
is right now for Netflix. So I'm waiting to see.
You made a great point when you said you're waiting for the hype. That's how I am with a lot of TV shows. It's like I don't watch them when they're out because everyone makes everything seem like it's the greatest episode ever created.
Right.
It's just like, man, I'll wait till later and I'll watch it for myself. But yeah, that's it. I don't know. Stranger Things ain't looking like something I'd be into.
Yeah, I was a Stranger Things fan for a minute. I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons. And then season 3 came, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm hyped," but never ended up sitting down and watching it. And that's when I kind of realized, I was like, to your point, LB, I'm like, I think the hype train might have got me with the Stranger Things a little bit, because it's a cool show, but it's not something that like I feel the same way about Cobra Kai. Like Cobra Kai, dope show, but I still haven't seen the latest season of Cobra Kai or the latest 2 seasons almost. I don't think, because it's like, all right, so now we see the formula here, and it's really not switching up too much. So I catch it when I catch it.
Pretty much.
Like that damn
Pretty
boat on
much.
God of War. It's like, yeah, you're going to be in the canoe. So I'm just going, when I finish it, I finish it.
That damn boat.
That damn boat, man. Why is the one thing out of all the things you want to show me when PlayStation do their little stated play, you want to show me that damn boat again?
It's a part of it, man. It's,
No,
it's
it shouldn't.
inscribed.
I
in
don't
its
play
society.
Kratos to be on no boat, bro. Like, nah. You can say that for me, man. Make that a cutscene that I don't have to interact with. Something.
Right. Well, I mean, you are still, like I said in the beginning of the game, I will tell you that there are parts of the game that'll be like, damn, when am I getting back to this boat?
Oh,
'Cause-
man.
And it's not because it's bad. It's not because it's bad, but it's because like through that gameplay, they have you going through so much that you need a break. And then after that, you kind of appreciate the boat. Then it's like, let me
We're
hear this,
talking about
let me
the
listen to this dude. The last God of War game.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah.
I slowed. So when it came out, I bought the PS4 the PS4 that came with the like God of War PS4 and all of that, because I'm like a Kratos fan. But I refused to finish the whole game because I didn't know when the next one was gonna come out, and I was like, I gotta have something to like satiate the appetite, because I know I wasn't gonna want to go back and play any of the other ones because I didn't done that like 3 or 4 times. So I was really slow motioning it with this one. Then when I finally got into it, I ran into this point where you on this damn boat. And every time, and I'm one of these people that like play games like that as I'm winding down for the night. So it's like I'm in there and I'm tearing up enemies. Then I get in this boat and I end up falling asleep. So I ain't got, every time I get in that damn boat, I
Now
get
you
sleepy
lost.
and I'm lost and I don't remember what I was doing last. So that's why that is my beef with the boat on God of War. I'm like, man,
The boat and these father-son moments.
yes.
Yeah. Boy.
I just be wanting to slice that boy head off, man.
I'm trying.
Trying to
My
tell you.
man was trying patience.
Hey, bro.
He was trying. He
Completely.
really was.
That's when it was confirmed for me that Kratos was not black.
Not in this one.
I thought-
but
no.
he is though. Even the dude from Stargate's the one who actually plays him in this one.
Oh yeah, no, I get that,
Black
but
all the way.
I'm saying in the
he ain't
context
hood
of Kratos, the character, he ain't black.
Yeah.
He
I
ain't
thought he
hood.
was in first 3, boy. The way he was handling business, I was like, okay,
Right.
yeah. Then you see them like, nah, cause we ain't nobody gonna. I got about this much patience with my kids. You not finna, boy. Look,
Man, look, man, there ain't no child protective services in that world, but he got all the patience for this kid. Like, bruh,
I'm like,
I was-
look, that's Kratos. He'd have caved that boy chest in 3 times by now already.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell
for
you.
real.
I'm trying to tell you. And this is probably a bad joke, but I guess the Kratos that you liked was during slavery Kratos, where he had all the anger.
Yes.
He wanted to go
Yes.
get back and get
I
his
want,
revenge.
yes, that's the
And then
Kratos
when
I
he said
want.
his vengeance ends now, and he stabbed himself. Now he got a kid. That's post slavery Kratos. He ain't as bad no
No, this,
more.
hashtag not my Kratos, man.
No, you gotta remember they went through Reconstruction and Jim Crow. So the better analogy, the better analogy would be the old Kratos was the one in the field, and then the new one's the one on the inside. Now.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
I ain't got time for all that. No.
Master let him come to the table.
Like I'm glad to see the production, the progression, but I ain't trying to play the progression. Nah, that ain't where the fun is. Mm-mm.
Right.
That ain't fun.
He's he done turned him to Samuel L. and Django.
Hell no.
Exactly.
That's who he is now.
Y'all put some respect on Kratos' name, man. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
That's who he is
man.
now.
Damn
it. My last question. What'd you think? I know it had to get shoved down your throat one way or another, whether you liked it or
Wait
not.
a minute.
Pause, yes.
That don't sound good at all.
But this whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. I know you heard something about it. Even if you tried to keep your ears away from it, somebody pulled you over. What'd you think about that verdict, man? What'd you think about the case, just the whole thing, for whatever you might have heard that you did not want to hear?
Who you asking?
LB, you LB.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you mention me. Okay.
My bad.
Man, it's just like, bruh, there's so many real issues out here going on, and why are so many people obsessed with two, and I hate using this word, but two toxic people that are just two rich toxic people, bruh, who both need some therapy and some help. Like, everything going on in the world, and y'all are more concerned with that. That just shows, like, how far in this society we have to go. Because I didn't watch 1 second of that trial until the verdict. I heard the verdict, like, thank you. Now can we move on to something else? Please.
You would want to. It'll be back. I'm sure.
Or they'll find something to replace it.
Huh?
I said, or they'll find something to replace it.
Oh yeah, they'll find something to replace it. Probably something that's just as bad. But nah, I agree. Everything LB just said. It's just focusing on the wrong things, man. And the only thing is, like, they both was at fault. They should have stayed at home and worked this out off the clock. But no, they had to drag it in and make it a public spectacle to show. Because all thing I got out of it was, it goes both ways. To be honest, it goes both ways, especially in this situation. It did. And that's not to say that, women in particular aren't subjected to that kind of lifestyle, but it does go to say it's not always as black as white as we all would like to make it.
Facts.
But still, they could have stayed at home with that.
Now, I didn't follow any of this shit. Excuse me, that's twice. I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, mama. I ain't
You gonna need a cuss jar for Sundays, bro.
I promise you I am. I promise you I am. I didn't watch this trial though. I don't even know other than, like, I guess it was a defamation lawsuit or something like that. I don't know.
Much.
I don't know any of the particulars about it, and I chose to actively avoid it because I don't let other people in my family's problems get to me like that. Like, my immediate family, what we go through together. But, like, my relatives and the ish that they be in and they drama, I try to keep that as far away from me as I can. Not because I don't care, but it's like, what can I really do for you? And why am I, like, if you put yourself in a situation, then who am I to come trying to save you from something that you ain't trying to save yourself from? Right. Now, that's me just ignorantly speaking on whatever was going on. But I tell you this, my question out of all of this is, when are we going to realize collectively how we all getting taken for a ride every time something like this gets publicized? Because this was nothing but a distraction.
Yes.
This
Facts.
is all this was a distraction. And like LB said, there's so much other stuff you could be focused on. in your own personal life. And I'm not judging anybody. If this is your entertainment, all good. Just make sure when you are entertaining this stuff or when you are using this stuff for entertainment, you are keeping it in proper perspective, because I notice it gets real serious because people start to blur that line, and all of a sudden something that you was just passively consuming has become the primary point of your every waking day, because you got to know what's going on in this situation. And you have now tethered yourself to something, and your energy is tied to something now that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
And is governing how you are moving through your day based on what you may or may not hear in terms of the developments in a trial that between two people that probably don't even know you exist.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? Like, people stand outside the courthouse with posters, picket lines, and all that stuff. I'm like, bruh, you know, you could be actually doing something like, if you're on Johnny Depp's side, go out, find some people that's in shelters for domestic abuse against men. If you're on Amber Heard's side, do the same thing for women. Like, instead of standing outside the courthouse for two celebrities that don't care about you.
Right.
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 Like, regardless of what who you believe or what side you stand on, like, if you want to show support, show it in a tangible way. Like, it's the same thing I say about people when they talk about shows or whatever that they don't like. Then let your voice be heard in a way that speaks to the actual creators. Stop giving them your money and or your attention, because if it loses popularity, guess what? It goes away, because no corporation is in the business of throwing away money. I don't care what they tell you. And that's the whole, like, this whole trial situation. If you don't think this was an opportunity for both of them to try to get some kind of a come up in some kind of a way by putting this all in out for national and public consumption in this way, come on, man. How many things have like fallen off the radar because this was a focal point?
Mm-hmm.
How many things went under the radar?
That's what I'm saying,
because
man.
it was a focal point.
And I used to be one of those people, man. And I'm not like trying to come off on a soapbox or high and mighty or nothing like that. But it used to be deep like that for me too, man. I was like, I can remember going way back, the OJ trial.
Yep.
Bruh, both of them. Like, I was glued, bro. I'm like, what? This is crazy. And like, or even with sports, man, and like hanging on every like development. Then you step back at one point and you realize, man, like, I'm not getting paid for this. Like, these people don't really need me. It's droves of people out here. Like, I ain't got to take this to bed with me at night. Like, it's not that deep. And it's something freeing about that, man. When you finally realize and you put entertainment in its proper place and you have that like alignment, it's something about that, man. Because even when you having a rough time, even when like life is just beating down on your neck, if the entertainment ain't good and you have that in the right perspective, man, then it makes it a little bit easier to even deal with that kind of stuff, because you are not running to some imaginary thing for your restitution.
So if entertainment ain't that serious, why did you lock yourself in your bedroom after watching that last Matrix for a week?
Hey, man, I ain't say nothing about locking myself in. I mourned in public. I still had to clock in that next day. Look, I mourned on my job.
I don't know. You might have used that paid time off for that week.
Oh, no. No, sir. I do not give. I don't care if it's Joy Lucas. I ain't giving up no PTO, bruh. Now you finna have me spilling secrets and telling on myself out here. I don't. I wait. If it comes out during a work day, then I'm just gonna have to miss that.
Right.
Shut your mouth, Lavis.
I ain't got nothing to say other than this week is Miss Marvel. Who's catching Miss Marvel this week?
Oh, if I catch it,
I'm
I
on
catch
it. I'm on
LB it. Says he's on it.
That's what's up.
I'm debate. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it before Obi-Wan, but I'm on it. I feel like I'll feel some kind of way if I watch a kid's show at 3 a.m. over Obi-Wan.
I'm gonna feel some kind of way as well. But nah, I'm not. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch Miss Marvel, but I'm like LB, man. Like, I'll catch it sometime this week. I don't know if it's gonna be the day of it drops. It just depends on how the week shakes out. But we'll see when I get around to it.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, man. I might actually. I'm not gonna catch it no 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'll probably do a watch party for it.
Yeah,
Actually.
I mean, it's not like on no pedo stuff, but it's like I can't be watching a teen show at 3 a.m.
No. Like I'll probably do like Obi-Wan first, and then anybody who wants to stick around after that watch
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel. We'll probably do like right after. But yeah, I ain't gonna be up at no 3 a.m. Like, oh my god, Miss Marvel, right
Yeah.
now. No.
Yeah.
Even if I am awake, I'll probably still wait till the next day to watch it. It's just not.
I mean,
it's
if I'm
not
doing,
that deep.
like for me, Miss Marvel's gonna be one of those things for me where when it drops, the point that I watch it is gonna be the point where I realize I ain't really doing nothing for the next hour.
Right.
Whenever that point ends up before Friday, because I'll give myself until we go live again to watch it. So as long as I catch it before we go live again, which even if
Right.
that's like 7 p.m. Central Time, and we go live at 8:30,
Right, that would be the last thing I watch.
I'm gonna
right
make
before we
sure to
go on
watch it.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, but it's like, you know, it's coming on at the same time as another show, so it's not getting the top priority.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in what the differences might be between that and like I'm hearing there's actually some things that are pulled from the comics and all that types of stuff.
Okay.
I'm not a big Miss Marvel fan. I even play. This is how little of it, and this got nothing to do with the fact of any kind of sexism or anything anybody wants to try to pull up. I'm just not a fan of Miss Marvel. I just don't care. To the point that I play the Avengers game, and I've only had to use Kamala Khan during the storyline. That is it. If you go look at how built up that character is, it is the lowest character. And believe it or not, hot take, I feel the same way about Mr. Fantastic. I just don't care for characters who can stretch and biggin and all that types of stuff.
So you're a stretchist.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess. I am a stretchist.
Gotcha.
See,
Gotcha.
Yep, glad noted.
Plastic Man, don't care about him neither.
Oh man, but yeah, and I saw in the
Yeah, I
chat
don't-
somebody
okay.
asked me if I had daughters. I sure do, but I got one that just graduated, so she ain't really thinking about watching no Miss Marvel, I don't think. And then my younger daughter, she's like on that Stranger Things bus right now. So Miss Marvel, she ain't really much time for that. So it's Stranger Things and volleyball for my youngest. So these days, man, sad to say, my entertainment consumption has been so low, with the exception of the wife. Now the wife will check it out with me. We've been watching Obi-Wan. She's digging it. She's liking it. So that's cool. But other than that, man, you know, I sound a little defeated because I feel like despite my most sincere attempts, I was unable to cultivate a little nerd.
Aw.
I tried, but
There's always a chance, man, as long as she draws breath.
Next time, baby.
there
Next
you go.
time.
Now, you know, we go next time. Now, slow down. No, I'm Terrence Howard. This is one and done for me, bro. Like I'm no, man.
Oh, man.
No, man.
LB, what's wrong with you,
sir.
man?
What's wrong with you, man?
Oh,
No,
goodness.
sir.
And yes, I'm an anti-stretch club, man. I didn't even have a Stretch Armstrong, okay? So it probably stems from my
man.
childhood why I don't like it big and characters.
So what
okay?
you're basically saying then is this comes back to like a parenting issue where you were given the stretchy
Right.
action figures, so
Came
you
full
grew up
circle.
hating them. I don't want you little
Yep.
stupid Stretch Armstrong.
Right.
I got Budget
Exactly.
Man.
Budget man.
With
No, I
these
just got these
action
hard
bills.
plastic toys that don't stretch. I didn't even do good with the superposables.
Oh man.
You know, the ones that bend and have them do every which way? No. What do you mean? I was like, what?
Oh, see, look.
She's like, you telling lies.
You didn't want Stretch Armstrong. Put that on me.
Right.
set it on
That wasn't
fire.
on me.
Oh
That's
man,
hilarious.
that's funny.
That is funny. But what are the mains think? What are the people's thinking? Still a little
Right.
bit of conversation libation before we get up out of here.
Yeah, chat been popping today, man. Which I
Yeah.
always appreciate when the chat is going live. I love it.
Yeah, man. I like watching them. They always got some interesting things to say.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, LB? What you got going on in the next however long, man? Go ahead, plug some up in there while we got the moment.
No, just same old life. You know, got these Obi-Wan, and I'm glad I had some content I really enjoy. So I got the Obi-Wan.
That's what's up.
You know, we're gonna do the Miss Marvel. hopefully it's a good series all the way through. I mean, the other MCU shows, it's just they've all fell off a cliff to me towards the end. So hopefully,
Are
but you know,
are you feeling? Are you looking forward to She-Hulk?
no.
The CGI get you.
Man, you know what though? Like, especially with Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, there's going to be things that Marvel's going to do is with the Disney Plus series that it's just like it's not for me. You know,
Right.
They're gonna target different demographics, and that's cool. But like this She-Hulk, bruh, good lord, yeah.
Right.
That's gonna be one of those things like you mentioned. If I got to stream at 8 p.m., I'll turn it on at 7. You know, if I just happen to have absolutely nothing to do, and you know I'm by my remote and the TV just happens to be close to on and by the Disney Plus app, then
Right.
I'll watch it. But like, yeah, I'm not in no hurry to watch that one at all.
That's what's up.
Right. So I'll be checking out the Orville first before I watch
Anything, bruh.
She-Hulk. And yes, T-Rev, thank you earlier for that $50 no holla. We appreciate that. He said, "Well said, Al." During
That's
your
what's
rant.
up. Appreciate it, man. I didn't even see that T-Rev, bruh.
He was
Appreciate
ranting,
you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, totally. I synced it.
Yeah, Jedi
Got you,
might
man.
right. MCU curiosity gonna get you. Yeah, it always does, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know what they really gonna do, what they gonna pull sometimes. The ones you sleep on is the ones they put all the stops in.
So,
Right.
y'all big on the phase 4 of MCU?
I'm digging it so far, man. Like I'm not over the moon with like the overall continuity of everything right now, but I'm still enjoying it. Like I'm still checking
Yeah.
out like all the big stuff as soon as it drops. And
Yeah.
following. I'm still invested at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like the shows, like I said, I mean, I watch the shows, and it's just like they start good, then it's like they don't know what to do, and then it ends in a lull.
Oh man. I guess the homie Kendall did hit us with a $3.
Oh,
Did I miss that?
I see it.
Kendall tripping.
Listen,
Gas like $5,
so-
bruh.
Either I was really in the zone.
I didn't see
when
that
we
one.
was because I didn't see any of these, and I'm seeing them now on the little on the menu. But
Yeah.
I didn't see none of this, man. My bad, y'all, man. Appreciate
Man.
that, Kendall.
Kendall shot y'all a quarter gallon gas, bruh.
Hey, let me tell you
Right,
something.
man.
That's life decisions right there. It's like, do I want that hot and spicy and fries, or do I want to put this in the tank?
Yeah,
Right, look, either way, appreciate that.
yeah, appreciate.
Yeah, see, I see why, because they came in within a minute apart.
Oh, okay.
So Streamlabs was like, I don't know which one. Okay, I guess this
Hey.
one. This. But yeah, we got you, man. We see. Thank you, man.
220, a leader in Canada, man. T-Rev, you got room, bro.
Right?
It's only
They ain't gonna let us in.
only 4 of us and my dogs, bro. Like,
Man, I ain't even got the gas to make it to Canada. Trying
help
to
a
talk about
brother
you got
out,
room.
man. Help a brother out, please.
Help me.
Help me, please. Please help me.
Right. See, he said that's expensive. See?
Oh man, look. They down here.
But you in Canada though, bruh.
Right. He took that with a smile.
Hey, 880.
Good, bro.
Well, let me
Good
see.
Lord.
Let me see something. Let me tell you something. If gas get to $8 a gallon, you can call me a nomad, bro. I'm just walking everywhere. I'm trying. Look, I'm just going.
Bruh. I'm gonna go hop on the next plane to Ukraine and go. I mean, to Russia and go find Putin, brother. Hey,
We
bro,
gonna
you
do
need to
something.
chill, bro.
Like we let's work something out. Like this.
Come on, bruh.
This ain't working. This ain't fun. I'm telling you, I ain't never considered electric in my whole life until this year. I'm like, man, them little cars, maybe. I mean, they making trucks or something. I don't. This gas is.
They making trucks or something.
But the thing about those cars, bruh, like somebody went over the calculations. If you did like an electric car, it's like, bruh, just don't look like I'd be saving money right now. I ain't rich now.
See, I know. I look because I was like, man, you know, we just. I was like, I thought I was feeling good. I'm like, you know what? I'd do pretty well for myself, man. Let me see about what would it cost me to get me a Tesla. That conversation ended in 30 seconds. I was like,
Mhm.
more than what I got. Like, no. I realize now there's still levels. And
Hey, the planet ain't that important right now, bro.
no.
He said
It's
these
like,
emissions must continue.
if I want my car made off the assembly line, they sell model cars at Walmart, bro. I go put me something together with some plastic and some glue. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll go yabba dabba do.
I'm telling you, bro. Like something, I will figure out something, man. Like you know, we will too. Like let gas prices keep coming up. You're gonna see some real ingenious ingenuity with some black folk. You're gonna be like, you know what? I never even knew that was possible, and we're gonna be like, yep.
Right now, we're gonna solve nuclear fission here.
I'm telling you, like
we gonna start pulling energy from water. Watch.
Bro, you're gonna be seeing all kind of carpooling and pickup trucks with like 20 people in the back, bro. We gonna be splitting the gas. Something.
I already seen one video like that already.
Bruh.
They ran into somebody and like 18 people just hopped out the car and ran away. Like even in a small compact too. Like how did y'all even?
Oh man,
how did y'all even?
You just come spend a summer with me, bro. I'll show you how it's done. They have that to a science down this way. It's like you learn. It's one of the things they taught. We learned. It's like, hey, look, all we need is room. That's it.
Right.
The space, somebody could fit in it.
Right. I see y'all with this Vespa. It ain't happening, y'all.
That don't even sound cheap. Vespa.
No. Vespa.
No.
Nope.
No.
Sound like a headlock on my wallet.
That sound like
Got my
bankruptcy to
wallet
me.
in the.
You know what I'm saying?
He put me in Vespa.
Goodbye. Shit, I might say leftover.
Hey,
I'm telling you, look.
You know, it's crazy when you speaking about these cars. Like, man, you see all this gas money and like, I get nonstop Cadillac commercials after every single commercial. Like every other commercial, the Cadillac commercial. I'm like, and they got the black folk in the commercial. Like, bro,
Yes.
don't you see these gas prices, bro?
Right.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you,
happening?
man. Like it's crazy. I'm like, now y'all just trolling.
Yeah.
Now you just trolling me. Like that's all it is. Cause I ain't no way in hell I'm buying nothing that requires gas. And I'm like, you know what? Until you're just like, you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with my car right now, man. I'm good. You know what? I'm just gonna make it work as best I can right now. My tank ain't seen a full tank of gas in probably 2 months. And guess what? It might be a few more before it gets there. Because right now.
My car don't go past the quarter tank, bro. I can't do it.
Hey.
Man, remember I'm like used to do the top off like, oh, I'm down under half a tank. Let me go on and fill up. Man, right now I'm calculating down to the trip. I'm like, that needle where?
Yeah.
Now it's about to hit yellow, but I know once it hit yellow, I still got 3 gallons of reserve gas.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Let me I'm only going around the corner. I'll be all right. Just
Yeah.
Right. Nah, I'm a Jedi Gen. I've been contemplating getting a motorcycle, to be honest. I can't do that down to the wire on the gas. I travel way too much. So like my E is half a tank. As soon as I get half a tank, I gotta go get gas. Because where I might be going tomorrow is like an hour and a half away.
You ain't trying to get stranded.
Hell no. Not even close.
Look, I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
On Hangman, when I see them letters up there, I'm like, nope. I can guess every last one of those when it comes to gas. Hangman Gas Edition. You ain't catching me out here slipping. Not me or my transmission. And it's all true because it rhymes. So
I be out there living on the edge. My wife get on me all the time. How you ain't got no gas in this car? I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm good.
Right.
When I sit out here let it evaporate, like no, I'm just you see how much this gas costs.
He said, I'm gonna catch them fumes and throw it right back in the car. It ain't going nowhere.
Like, no, I want all my gas.
He said, you know about greenhouse emissions? We got gas house emissions.
I'm trying to tell you.
Catching all of that and throwing it right back in the tank. I don't know what you talking about. Nah, man. No.
Now that we brought the mood down, talking about gas prices. Sly Jones then subscribed.
Hey,
welcome.
Thanks. Welcome.
Salute to
We need to get
Sly
that
Jones.
popping up so we can do the welcome.
Yeah, man. Look. You know, today we lucky that we streaming because Streamlabs wasn't having it today. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. We got to go in and tweak some stuff because like none of the notifications are showing up the way they supposed to.
Right. Boo.
So we gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, man. Well, LB,
What's up, homie?
plug it in, man. Tell us about the channel and what you do, what you talk about. Where can we find you, sir?
Well, people, my channel's called The Lonely Banter. Everything that we talked about tonight, except for the Matrix and the Batman. Yeah, I talk about this stuff on my channel. So if you enjoyed my time here, I enjoyed my time here. I appreciate y'all having me on. Some good.
Oh yeah.
So if
Yes,
y'all
sir.
enjoy me, check out my channel. And I might upset some white people, but it is what it is.
Hey
Don't
man,
be racist.
Right.
that's how it goes sometimes, man. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Facts. And I believe I see the Mayne here in chat, so I'm just gonna tell everybody. I believe the next guest we're gonna have is gonna be the homie Kendall.
Okay.
Gonna get the homie Kendall up on here and chop it up, talk about whatever the hell it is we feel like talking about that week, man. And I believe we're shooting for around Juneteenth too. So
Oh yeah, that'd be a fun time.
You got to
that'd
dress
definitely be a
up.
fun time. Yes.
Got to
Yes,
wear
sir.
a kufi. Got to wear one of those.
Yeah,
Got to dress up like we dressed up to go see Black Panther. That's how
Right.
you got to dress up.
got to be serious.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ah,
I'm so glad I got that off too. My job just acknowledged that we're getting that for the holiday, a paid holiday. Like, okay, that's cool with me. Better than Columbus Day, I suppose.
Yeah.
Since we don't celebrate that anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
hey
Apparently
man,
not.
we just decided that's one lie we tired of telling. All that was. It was like, look. It's kind of like the way, you know what? I feel like it's the same thing with like the holidays and stuff now. It's like, look, we're going to stop all this Santa Claus and Easter Bunny talk and stop this Columbus Day. Might as well throw that in there too. Like, people know better now.
Might
Ain't
as
nobody
well.
checking for no tooth fairy that's under the
That
age.
should have been the first thing to go.
Hey, bro, look.
You know what's wild? It's like
What's that?
how can you just say a man just discovered the whole country, bruh? Like,
Hey, it happens, man. So apparently.
there's people already here, but I discovered it. All right. Okay.
The hell you talk about? And that was like the number one question too when I was in school. And they
Oh, of
always try
course.
to
They
find
always
a way
wanted to
around.
hit you. Yeah. They always wanted to hit you
Like-
with that one.
Like, really? These textbooks need to get. When was this published? 1842. What?
Man, look.
They was making books like that back then?
You ought to
Okay.
see some of the textbooks now.
Oh man, I don't know. I heard it was horrible. These
Boy,
textbooks
look,
they
I
got
don't know what
now.
version of history you telling now. I'm like,
Oh
this?
man, I'm gonna have to relearn math if I have kids. Have you seen some of the math stuff that they teach these
man,
kids
look,
nowadays?
I told you, I'd already been there, done that. I told you, me and math have I can't even say it out loud.
You can't even
We
say
have
it, see?
fundamentally divorced because math used to be my favorite subject. And then they started teaching them kids this new math. And I'm like, you know what the hell with you, math?
New
You trying to go
math.
get brand new on me? Like, I still use long division. What you mean your teacher told you couldn't use long division? The hell is this?
Still can't use a calculator, even though everybody's sneaking their phone in school. It's like, just let them do it. Just let them do it.
Bruh, it's
That will.
look, one of these days we'll go on my school ain't really about schooling rant.
Right. Oh man, that's gonna be a whole. Maybe we should do that on Patreon.
That might be a Patreon only one.
That's definitely gonna be a Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
'Cause
some
we gotta
thoughts
tell the
about
truth.
school.
Do it
Yeah.
on Independence Day.
Right.
Yeah, he might have a point there.
You might be on to something LB.
Yes.
That's the day of freedom.
Right.
Jedi Mike said he's a math teacher. Okay.
You better still be teaching long division, man.
Yeah.
Keep it alive. Somebody got to keep real math alive.
Yeah.
You better not be teaching them kids that 1 + 1 is 3.
Right.
You know, a lot believe that type of stuff.
I'm
just
telling
saying.
you.
I heard Jedi Mike teaches class like Kevin Hart, especially when it comes to long division.
Mm.
He's like, you're gonna learn
You're
today.
going to learn
L-
today.
Oh, division. That's how he gets them.
Hey. Look, like I
All
said, I
day.
just came from a graduation, and if that was class of 22, I don't even want to think about class of 32, bro. Like,
Oh goodness.
woo.
I don't even want to think about 32. Period. Not right now. Shoot. Put me in my. Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
you know when gas gonna be $13 a gallon. That's what you worried about.
Right.
They're gonna be doing Matt Reeves the Batman 8
Man.
and
gonna be-
and Avengers the definitive edition.
Oh God. Nah, it'd be mobile.
Oh
Avengers
no,
mobile.
yeah, it will. No, that's exactly it. The definitive edition ain't gonna be nothing but a port of the mobile version.
Oh God.
Rockstar done told you this. You ain't know.
It just gets worse. Worse and
Yeah,
worse.
man.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, LB,
Can't
man,
do it.
it's been a pleasure, bruh.
Yes,
We
sir.
definitely
Absolutely,
enjoy
man.
having you, man. We're gonna definitely have to do this again. But I know, like we always say,
Yes, sir.
you ain't got to go
Go
home,
home,
but you
but
got
you got
to
to
get the
get the hell
hell up
up
out of here,
here,
man.
Yes.
For the homie Lavis B, I am your boy Freddie Roy. We got LB with us, and we will catch you in the next
In
episode.
the next episode.
Forever, ever.
What's wrong with you, man?
The Force will be with you. Always.
Let's go.
Forever, forever, ever.